In this lesson, we'll stretch the minor pentatonic scale into something just a bit sweeter, and we'll do that by adding just 2 notes. As a blues player, anytime someone adds a little sweetness to their solos, it grabs my ear. It stands out because the pentatonic scales, the blues scales that I know and love and use all the time, are stripped down and they're really raw. In my guitar journey, I started adding in some of these sweet notes here and there, and it helped me find the notes for those moments where I needed just a little more than the pentatonic scales had to offer. I'll show you a great way to start stepping out of the pentatonic scale coming up. But first, I got to tell you what we're doing, cool things that we're doing inside my BGI. That's the premium membership from BGI. And members have access to additional lesson materials for this lesson, like downloadable tabs, a Guitar Pro, and PDF files, and the interactive sound slice player. Plus, we're going to do a note-for-note walkthrough of the performance that you heard at the beginning of this video. So if you're not already a premium member, you can find out how to join at the link in the description. Now, let's take a look at a super easy way to add some of that sweetness to your solos. Since we're coming at this from a minor pentatonic scale perspective, let's review the A minor pentatonic scale. Now notice that we played 2 notes per string in this box 1 pattern. And also notice that we played quite a lot just from the 5th fret and the 7th fret, right? On strings 5, 4, and 3, we used that 2 fret really comfortable shape. In fact, I've got some lessons that help you get started jamming just by using 4 of these notes. And that's important because that's where we're really going to start this sort of stretching of the minor pentatonic scale. Let's focus right here on the 5th fret, that G note, then up to A, then C, and then D, right? With just those 4 notes, we can play a lot of cool licks. And we can start to sweeten things up by adding 1 note really close to this little box. And that is on the 4th string, if we drop down a half step from our G and play the F sharp. And then we can do the same thing on the 3rd string, drop down a half step. So now we've got 2 notes. So we've got 3 notes along each string, but we've got 2 extra notes to play with. All right, so adding these 2 notes to the minor pentatonic scale makes it not the minor pentatonic scale anymore. We'll get to what it is in just a second, but I wanted to give you an example. In the opening jam, the track went from A minor 7 to D major, and we've got a simple little line that outlines that real sweet note. And just like the minor pentatonic scale exists on more than just these 2 strings, we can also find these other 2 notes, these sweetener notes on other strings. Let's see where we can find them. We'll use our little octave trick. Hopefully you know this one, but if we find a note on the fretboard, let's say this one here that we're working with on the 4th fret, 4th string, if we skip over the 3rd string and come up to this shape so that we're skipping over 3 frets distance, we can find the note an octave higher. So there it is. We would fill in on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. We could do the same thing from the 3rd string, and we find that note at the 7th fret on the 1st string as well. So now when you're up higher, you've got these 2 notes in the pattern that you can use as well. As a matter of fact, I use this little trick here in the opening jam where I bent this note, the 7th fret on the 2nd string, that's an F sharp, and I bent it up to the G a half step. Some of you may have already recognized this, figured it out, know what it is, and be familiar with the sound. What we have is the Dorian mode. This is a Dorian, and it's basically the minor pentatonic scale that you probably already know, or at least should be very familiar with, should be becoming familiar with, and it's taking the minor pentatonic scale and adding in 2 notes. Specifically, we're going to add in the major second. So if we do this in order from our 6th string, the major second is just up 2 frets, right? This note was already there. These 2 notes already there, and we're also going to add in the major 6. So our A Dorian scale looks like this. Even if you're allergic to music theory, you can still use this sound by dropping in the major second and the major 6 into your pentatonic licks every now and then for that sweetness. Try it out in your next minor blues jam, especially when there's a major or dominant 7th chord as the 4 chord and you've got a minor 1 chord, like our example, A minor 7 and D 7, or D major. That works too. If you learned something from this lesson, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to go deeper, grab the additional lesson materials like the tabs and the slow pace tutorial and join BGI at the link right over here. I hope to see you inside my BGI. Until then, practice smart and play on.